A hotel guest wakes up to find the manager sucking on his toes. Someone opened up an ice cream stand outside of Auschwitz, and a man was rescued from the forest after a sex game gone wrong. These are the weird stories for Monday on Weird AF News, the only daily weird news podcast recorded by a comedian inside a closet, baby. A hotel guest woke up to find the manager sucking on his toes. He should have read the fine print on the wake-up call. It says, you have a choice between we can call your room to wake you up, or we can send the manager over to suck on your toes to wake you up. And if you don't check on the box for the call, by default, they send the manager over to suck on your toes to wake you up. We have here in the story a 52-year-old hotel manager in Tennessee. He was arrested after a male guest staying at the hotel allegedly awoke to find the Hilton hotel employee sucking on his toes. There's a photo of the hotel manager. He looks like a toe sucker, not going to lie. Looks like a creepy-ass toe sucker. Imagine in your mind what a creepy guy that sucks on toes looks like, especially on the toes of people who don't want it. This guy looks like that. I could spot this toe sucker from a mile away for sure. Would never stay in this. It's a Hilton, by the way. So Hiltons are usually pretty, tip-top, I'd imagine. Although, I've been a long-standing Hilton Platinum Rewards member, and, nobody sucked on my toes. I mean, how many rewards points do I need to get my toes sucked on at Hilton? All right, let me get back into the story. David Patrick Neal. You can't trust the guy with 3 first names as his whole name here. So David Patrick Neal was taken into custody on Friday. He was charged with 1 count each of aggravated burglary and assault. He gets 1 count for each toe? How many counts is that? Is that how they do it? They break it up into toes. He sucked on 10 toes, so he has 10 counts of aggravated burglary and assault. The incident allegedly took place in the pre-dawn hours at the downtown Nashville Hilton Hotel. I'm sure it's a lovely place, except for this David Patrick Neal that just can't keep the toes of strangers out of his mouth. The guest at the hotel filed a lawsuit, as he should, alleging sexual assault, told the police that he was in town on a business trip. Yeah, it was business, all right. It's business time! When I'm sucking on your toes to wake you up, man, it's all for free. So the businessman was reportedly asleep inside his room at about 5 a.m. when he allegedly woke up to find the hotel manager sucking on his toes. Upon waking up, he reportedly told the police that he immediately confronted the hotel's manager, whom he recognized. Obviously, you got to confront him. There's a man sucking on your toes. How do you not confront them? Just by waking up, you're by default confronting him. Did you kick him in the chin? I would have kicked him in the chin. I would have maybe stuck a toe in his eye socket. That's a good maneuver when you have unwanted toe sucking going on from a creepy guy like this. Hotel manager Neal and another hotel employee had allegedly come to his room the previous day because apparently the guest was experiencing problems with his television. I don't know how you go from fixing a TV to sucking on a guy's toes. That seems like a strange way to fix the television problem, and it sounds like this guy's got an accomplice. They were staking out the toe situation together, and then they're like, oh yeah, I think it's all clear. I think you can come back tonight and put your mouth right on his toes, boss. Should be no problem. In an interview with the media, the guest said he was so startled to see the hotel manager in his room that he screamed before reporting the incident to the hotel security and then calling the police as well. Upon arriving at the hotel, the police reportedly took the guest's statement and then spoke to the manager about the alleged incident. Manager Neal reportedly admitted to investigators that he had entered this gentleman's room without the guest's permission using a cloned room key. However, he told the police that he only went into the room because he thought he could smell smoke coming from inside and wanted to make sure everything was okay. Oh, is that your ruse, buddy? This is the best you can come up with? I mean, at least come up with an excuse to why your mouth was on his toes if you're going to just straight up lie about everything. Just go the full limit. Be like, someone had called the front desk, said that this man in his room had a snake bite in his foot, And so I wanted to run in there and suck out the poison. I wasn't sure what foot it was, so I just started sucking on all the feet that I could find, trying to get the poison out to save this man. I was trying to be a hero this evening, and that's not even included in the price. We have a quote from the victim. I was just so shocked. It was, who are you? Why are you in my room? It was almost like a dream, a sort of nightmare. It didn't make any sense to me. Why is this person touching me? What do you mean, why? It comes with the room, doesn't it? They got a pool, jacuzzi, free Wi-Fi, and a free foot job. Just comes with the room and the continental breakfast. Enjoy. No, this is scary. This is why when you're sleeping anywhere, you got to sprinkle Cheetos around your bed. That way, if anyone's approaching, you can hear them step on the Cheetos. They're very crunchy Cheetos. Are you guys aware of what Cheetos are? Those of you living outside the U.S., they're a very crunchy, delicious, cheesy snack. Yeah, you lay them around your bed. That way you can hear it. Now, I know I always like to find a silver lining in these crazy stories. And I think there is one. And I think it's that the guest should be thankful that the guy only sucked on his toes. I mean, he could have chopped them off. We live in a world where there's a chance you could just get your toes chopped off randomly. So could have been that. All right. An ice cream stand near Auschwitz concentration camp causes some controversy. A stand selling ice cream has opened a few hundred meters from the entrance gate to the former Nazi extermination camp at Auschwitz. The Auschwitz Museum has called upon local authorities to investigate this ice cream stand, which the museum sees as a sign of disrespect for a very special historical site. Here's a quote from someone who runs the Memorial Site Foundation. Here we care about history and education, about the memorial. The residents are upset because it just looks awful, this ice cream stand. Embarrassing. I agree. I don't think you should be selling ice cream cones outside of Auschwitz. Seems a little insensitive to me, kind of reducing this memorial site to like a carnival of some sort, really. It says here Auschwitz was originally set up by Nazi Germany as a camp to house Polish political prisoners before later becoming primarily a site for the murder of Jews. At least 1.3 million victims were transported here, with at least 1.1 million of them killed at this camp. Most people know Auschwitz as a symbol of the Holocaust. It's one of the most visited places in all of Poland. And you got someone opening up an ice cream stand outside. I never thought I would hear of such a thing. The ice cream stand appeared near the site of the museum a few days ago. It says it was set up approximately 200 meters from the historic main gate of the former German Auschwitz camp. Auschwitz Museum spokesperson Barutz Bartzel called it an example not only of aesthetic tastelessness, but also of disrespect for a very special historical site. Now, you're probably wondering, as I was, why doesn't the museum just go over there and kick this jerk out of the area? Well, it's a little more complicated. Local authorities reported that this stand was built on some private property, and a contract had been concluded between the owner of the land and the owner of the ice cream stand. So I think you have the owner of the land also to blame for this as well. I assume the owner knows that a contract is between him and an ice cream stand next to the memorial, very close to the memorial. Now, it says here in the article, there's not even any eating allowed in the museum. So they're catering to people, I guess, leaving the museum. I don't know why you'd want to have an ice cream cone after you left such a place. It seems odd. It says eating and talking on mobile phones are not allowed in the museum, according to the museum's bylaws. While on the grounds, quote, one must behave with due solemnity and respect. Visitors are required to dress in a manner appropriate to the nature of the place. Yeah, due solemnity. I think that's the key there. An ice cream stand outside of this memorial is not behaving with due solemnity either, in my opinion. But it's very unfortunate. But, people are always trying to capitalize on gatherings, any place where you can sell something to a large group of people to make a profit. This is the world we live in, unfortunately. Advertisers would put up a State Farm billboard at this memorial if they were allowed. They would, right? And so it's a very sad situation. I don't know. What do you guys think about this? Call the show 646-450-2012. Would you like to easily create and distribute a podcast everywhere, even earn money all in one place for free? Well, try Spotify for Podcasters. Record and edit on your phone or computer. You can send it to Spotify and everywhere podcasts are heard. They even have video podcasting options as well. Spotify for Podcasters allows you to earn money with ads and subscriptions. Best of all, it's free. Try it. Download Spotify for Podcasters or go to spotify.com/podcasters to get started. And good luck with your podcast. Good luck with your life, man. Yay! A man was rescued from the forest after a sex game gone wrong. This story is out of Berlin, Germany. The police say a 51-year-old man who was left tied up in the woods when a sex game went awry had a very fortunate escape after a hunter and a cyclist heard his screams for help. What kind of sex game is this where you're just left tied up in the woods? It's the maybe you'll get raped by a bear sex game. That sounds like a lot of fun. Police say the man was discovered fully dressed, but firmly bound with ropes and pantyhose over his head on top of a deer hunting platform near the town of Buchberg on Wednesday. On top of a deer hunting platform. This is some sort of hunter orgy situation? What's going on here? In a statement, police say the man appeared to have been tied up by a woman that he met online. After she had tied him up, the woman received a phone call and then fled the woods suddenly, leaving the man behind in a helpless state. Well, she'd probably have to go pick up her kids at school, I'd imagine. Sex games have to come to a complete halt when your children need to be retrieved from school. Perhaps there was a medical emergency. The 51-year-old man told the officers that he had a box cutter on him for such situations, but seemed to have underestimated the woman's bondage skills because he was unable to reach the knife that he brought with him. So this guy likes to take risks. Very trusting. You meet someone online. Hey, what would you like to do for a first date? I got something in mind involving rope and a forest. Are you in? Okay, I'm in. I'm going to bring my box cutter, though, because this could go south real quick. Now, the man was unharmed, fortunately, just a little shocked and scared and probably embarrassed. The man, believe this, he refused to provide information about the woman's identity, wouldn't even tell the police who she was. You should probably report her, sir, because my guess is she's going to continue to do such stunts. And maybe the next guy won't survive. It depends on where she decides to leave you tied up. I mean, he got lucky. He was within earshot of some hunters, but maybe she would, if she leaves you in the middle of a boat, in the middle of the sea, I mean, you might not survive that one. The police have opened up an investigation anyways on this woman on suspicion of failure to render assistance and possible deprivation of liberty. Deprivation of liberty? Well, that's a fetish. I don't know if you know that. So what are you into? Well, I'm really into my toes being sucked on and deprivation of my liberty. Oh, that really turns me on. If you could just deprive me of my liberty, what are you into? Would you consider being left in the forest to be raped by deer? Deprivation of your liberty, sir? Yeah, I would, actually. Ooh, that's getting me hot. Where can we meet? Yay! Because I've got news, darling. Weird news, darling. Did you enjoy it? Did you happen to send me some weird news articles? Well, thank you for doing so. Did you enjoy the Florida Friday episode? I hope so. I thought it was a pretty good, controversial episode. I want to thank everybody who reached out to me over the weekend. I had such a marvelous weekend, one of the best that I've had in years. Amazing meals with amazing people, and I even won my softball game. It was a walk-off, baby, a walk-off. Walk-offs feel so good. You guys know what a walk-off is? Google that shit. I want to give some love, some thanks and praise to Megan Cusco, who joined the Patreon. Megan Cusco joining the or maybe it's Megan Cusco. It could be Megan Cusco. Or Megan Cusco. I'm really bad with names, as you know. I'm bad with a lot of things, and this podcast often highlights these things that I'm bad at. I apologize. Hey, just doing the best I can in life, guys. So Megan joined the Patreon, and we just want to give some love for her support, deciding to step up her game and join the Patreon, which is like buying Jonesy a coffee every month. So thank you so much. I so appreciate that. And please enjoy the extra content that's in the Patreon. The Patreon! There's some extra weird stuff in there. And it's just a nice place, the Patreon. If you guys want to join it, you can go to weirdafnews.com and click on the Patreon banner, or just go to patreon.com and you can slash. Oh, and you have to do a slash Weird AF News. Someone wrote me a nice review on Amazon, and it's Tim. Tim Garges gave me 5 stars. Really nice. And the title is just Jonesy. Tim writes, Peter Tuggins here. So this is his alter ego, Peter Tuggins, who I believe has bought me coffees before. Have you not, Peter Tuggins? I believe you did, and I want to thank you for that. Not only supporting me by buying me coffee, but then going to Amazon and writing a nice 5-star review to offset all the 1-star reviews that Jonesy gets on a regular basis. So Peter then wrote, your show is how I start my day, Jonesy. Your Florida Fridays sure start my Mondays off with a smile and a laugh. You're the man, and good luck with your life. Yeah, good luck with your life, Peter Tuggins. Thank you so much for taking the time to write me a review. So helpful. I love getting reviews. I love getting new patrons. I love getting coffee, all that stuff that you guys have done to support me. Especially in the month of April, which was like when my birthday was happening. You guys all stepped up your game and were very gratuitous, and I'm so grateful. I'm a very lucky man in life. I often tell myself that. Lucky. You know, I have my eyes on bigger dreams than being inside a closet, recording a podcast. And because I think I have talents that go beyond this closet gig, clearly. And so I oftentimes think to myself, oh, I should be doing bigger things. What's taking so long for me to have like a high level of success at anything I try? And then I remind myself, wait a minute. No, I'm winning. I'm totally winning. I mean, the people that love this podcast and send me love and support, like I've won. And the amazing people in my life that help me have an awesome weekend, you know, I'm just so lucky. I'm very, very lucky. So let me just take the moment to remind you that, you know, to look to the things that you have in your life that are bringing you joy and that you are fortunate for, and remind yourself, you know, in the light of sometimes a life that can seem daunting, and it can get sad and it can get frustrating and depressing. We all end up in those places. I don't think you can get through life without feeling such waves, and probably on a regular basis. But just remind yourself that you know, we are lucky. We're so lucky. Look, we have Weird AF News, right? All right. And people love us, you know, maybe not many, but at least a couple. I love you.